Lenovo calls the Legion one of the most advanced gaming chairs on the market, labeling it stylish outside, savage inside, an extreme upgrade to your boring office chair. I'm excited to find out what makes it so advanced, whether it's built well enough to be worth 300 to 400 bucks, and ultimately, is it comfortable for long gaming sessions? Unboxing the Legion chair wasn't quite what I had expected. Brands like Secret Lab have done an amazing job making the unboxing an actual experience with impressive packaging and assembly instructions. Lenovo opted out of that direction and instead went with a much more basic package design, more resembling lower-end office chairs. Unfortunately, that did lead to some damage on the chair base due to the base poking through the sidewall on the box. I was still hopeful, though, that it would be worth the price because the parts felt substantial as I was pulling them out. The foam on the seat and lumbar felt soft, and I could see it had quite a few adjustments. One thing that made me start to question the build quality was how difficult it was to get the arms attached to the chair. The chair molds seem nice, and I like the way they're designed to slide together instead of just lining up some holes and making the screws do all the work. But that's only a plus if the parts actually slide together smoothly. I couldn't get the arms to slide on without hammering on them really hard with a rubber mallet. This worked and didn't cause any damage to the chair, but was kind of a pain to have to do, and I needed to have a rubber mallet. I saw other people experience this same problem when I was looking through reviews, so this seems to be common for the chair. The next thing that made me question the quality was the mesh on the backrest. It felt really low end, was loose, and wasn't very aesthetically pleasing. While I started to question the build for a $300 to $400 chair, the adjustments reeled me back in. The Legion has a lot of adjustments, especially for that price point. The seat height range is really good. This chair goes low enough for people around 5'5", as well as going tall enough for people around 6'2" or more. The Legion also comes with 4-way arms. The height adjustment is a bit limited, but the other three are quite good. Usually, I worry about whether the arms will go narrow enough to be comfortable for me, and these seem to fit the bill. The lack of range on the low end, though, may be a problem for me because I do like to get them out of the way of my desk, and I'm not sure they'll be able to get below that point. The recline on the Legion feels pretty good. The range is generous, and it feels smooth. You also get 4 locking positions, and it does lock fully upright. The lumbar has height adjustment, and you also get a 2-way headrest. The one missing adjustment that may cause the biggest issues is the lack of seat depth adjustment. The seat has a pretty good size, but the front edge design could create discomfort that might be made worse by not having that seat depth adjustment. Comfort is incredibly important when considering any chair, but this is especially important on a gaming chair that you may be using for 8, 10, 12 hours at a time. Now, before I sat down on the Legion, I took a hard look at the chair to see what makes this one, quote, the most advanced gaming chair, as Lenovo claims, and it didn't initially jump out at me. What did jump out was the incredibly uncomfortable seat. The foam is decently soft at the front, but it's rock hard towards the middle and back and did not feel good to sit on initially. The next thing that I noticed was the hard front edge on the seat. There's no waterfall or roundness to it. It's sharp, and I find it to be quite annoying and pretty uncomfortable. Even after sitting in the chair for a few seconds, I knew that this could be a potential deal breaker for me. The backrest comfort's okay. While the mesh quality is terrible and doesn't provide very good support, I do think the soft lumbar pad is nice, and I like that the backrest doesn't have bolsters and instead has a more open design for stretching and moving. The headrest feels pretty good with the loose mesh actually being an advantage here because you can sink into it a little bit. The adjustments make it easy to get it into the spot I want, and I do think this adds another element of comfort to the chair. Unfortunately, the arm caps are another area where it could be a potential deal breaker for me. While the pads have some softness to them and they're very adjustable, Lenovo chose to go with a hard, raised edge around the outside of the pad. This is a horrible design. It's uncomfortable, especially when reclined, and just cuts off my circulation. While Lenovo boasts that the Legion is the most advanced gaming chair on the market, I failed to find what feature that was to make it so advanced. To me, this is just a generic office chair with a little bit of gaming flair added to the back, but a couple of the design choices on this model make the chair unusable for me. The seat and arm pads on this chair are terribly uncomfortable, and unfortunately, after trying the chair for a bit longer after my first impressions, it's obvious that I will never make it 30 days in this chair, and I'd have a very tough time recommending this model.